Spencer, how you doing today?
Other than freezing my tail off, I'm doing good.
All right, we get these days sometimes. Don't forget, it was probably what, 82 degrees like 3 days ago, 5 days ago, something like that?
I think so, and it's supposed to be 65 this weekend.
Yep, that's how we roll. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with us here for a little bit. We really do appreciate you. We'll just go ahead and get right to it, okay?
All right, go for it.
All right, here. Well, let's get the pads off.
Here we go.
All right, our first question is going to come from Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Okay, there we go. Hey, Spencer, as great as your defense is playing, do you feel a little pressure on the offense to rise to the level of OSU standards to make what this could be a really spectacular season for the Cowboys?
No, not really. I feel as if we just keep doing what we're doing and getting better every week, we can just keep competing. And we compete against the defense every day. So you just take it as you get better every day. You don't look at it as a pressure, because the second you start doing that, you start getting nervous and making simple mistakes. So I think we just look at it as we got a good defense. Let's go out here and let's give it our all, and let's hold ourselves accountable.
How close are you? I mean, you've known OSU's history. How close are you to being to the level that you guys want to be at?
Well, I feel like you can always get better at something, so you're never close to where you want to be. So it's just like, it's more about, like, are we executing? Are we doing things right? I would say more on executing and levels and stuff like that. I feel like we're executing great. The tempo of our offense is moving great. I think we're back up to the tempo that we need to be moving at. I love how we're moving fast, and I love how we're playing right now. I feel like we're playing good, and as soon as I pick up my mistakes, we could be moving excellent. So just keep going every week, getting better every week.
Our next question comes from Jenny Carlson from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jenny.
Hey, Spencer, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Isn't this weather better suited for some hunting or something?
Yeah, I could agree with that one.
What would it be, quail? I don't know.
That would be duck for me.
Oh, well, see, I don't know enough to know, but you do. That's why I asked. Coach Gundy said a couple different times that this 3-game stretch, Iowa State, Texas, and then Kansas State's going to be a really defining stretch for you guys. You're already a third of the way through it, obviously. That his comment was you'll know a lot more at the end of the 3. But what did you learn in the first 1 about this team? That's a pretty good Iowa State team you guys, beat on Saturday. What'd you learn a third of the way through this 3-game stretch?
I wouldn't say more learn. I would just say of knowing what we can do and doing it. It's more of just doing it better. It's just like I said on a comment I had earlier, it's just getting better every week, and it's just executing better, it's just perfecting your craft and things that we do. And all in all, those little things build up to one big thing that changes the whole outcome of maybe that drive or that possession or that play. So I feel like we're executing great. If we can just keep moving on and keep piling us on, we can be amazing.
You obviously first game, full game out there for you in a while. When you went back and looked at the film, we heard from you after the game on Saturday, but when you went back and watched, what'd you take from the film that maybe you didn't know on Saturday?
Just some little minor mistakes that I want to fix, and just other things of just really kind of harping myself on accountability, like just little mistakes, like carrying out my fakes, making the right read every play. And I get it, everybody's human, we're all human, we make mistakes, but at the end of the day, I want to be a perfectionist. I want to be perfect in my game. I want to be perfect in my craft. So it's just little things of right reads on certain plays, like the play that I got hit when I made the wrong read in the backfield. I took a nice pop to the chin. On the interception, I just can't force that. I've got to go inside. The inside it was open. So it's just little mistakes like that just to keep us going. And then if I fix those little mistakes, well, who knows what happens in those drives? Maybe the score is 42 to something. You never know. So just take care of the little things. That's really all.
that interception you were referencing, was that the second one, not the tipped one?
The tip one was just a damn good play.
Yeah.
I gave it to him. And then the second one, I tried to force it, and that's on me, and we're going to fix it.
Cool. Thanks, Spencer.
Our next question is going to come from Heather Dinich from ESPN.com. Go ahead, Heather.
Hey, Spencer. Coach Gundy said that one of his biggest concerns right now is making sure that you all stay focused and aren't paying attention to everyone telling you guys how good you are. How do you do that, and how difficult is it in reality?
So there's kind of a code that the quarterbacks go by. It's called FTN. It's called forget the noise. It's not saying like forget the fans, blah, blah, blah. No, it's saying like focus on what you do and do what you do and do it the best way you possibly can. And it's really just saying like no matter what happens outside of this stadium or this locker room, at the end of the day, we have to go to practice every day. We have to give it 100% every day. We have to work hard every single day. No matter who the opponent is, we shouldn't have to, do you want to work harder this week because you're playing Texas? No, we want to work the same every week and get better every week. I mean, I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, does it feel different that you're playing Texas? No, it doesn't. It feels as if I'm playing anybody because I'm going to prepare the best way that I can.
And is that different this year because you guys are a more mature group, because the chemistry is different? Is there anything that is sort of allowing you guys to not only say it, but actually put it into practice each week?
I would just say chemistry. I feel like we have great chemistry. Everybody's good friends. Nobody really just butts heads like that. So I feel like we move together.
Our next question comes from Ryan Breeden from the O'Colly. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Spencer. Before I ask you my question, I was going to say, I ran into you and some of the other quarterbacks at Fuzzy's, I want to say, the other night. Is that like a go-to spot for you guys?
It is. That's just kind of – Coney was closed. I was going to Coney.
Okay. So my question for you then is, this more applies to you for last year, but so you guys – the last couple of years, OSU's offense has shown that like they're more of a home run hitting kind of offense, like the big plays. But this year, you guys have shown that you're like really able to march down the field and like have these long drives that are like that don't just rely on the big play, which is still there. Is that something that you think just goes back to you as well as some of the other guys getting experience?
I think it's just us as a team. I think we execute well as a team, and we don't have to have that big shot. And obviously, like we showed it, like we can take that big shot if we want to. We have weapons across the board. So it's whenever they give us the look to take the shot, we'll take the shot. If they don't give us the look, we won't take it. But we'll just be patient. We'll keep driving down the field, and as soon as they give it to us, we'll take it.
And then, so did the win against Iowa State give you guys a little bit of reassurance and some confidence that you guys are taking the right steps for where you guys want to be?
It's confidence boosting, but I mean, a lot of these guys know here, like in this locker room, like after Sunday night, you forget it's on to Texas, and you focus and you work hard just as if you did last week, and you want to prepare yourself better.
Thank you.
All right, Spencer, thanks so much for taking the time. We appreciate you.
Sounds good.
Have a good rest of your night.
You too.
You have any cover up or anything? Sorry. Should I just wear my hood the whole time? I really don't think it's gonna make it look awesome.
Dylan, feels a little bit better to be outside of the cold, doesn't it?
It does. It feels a lot better.
All right. Well, thanks so much. We appreciate you coming over here for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate to see what the other guy looks like right now.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
I got you. All right. Our first question is going to come from Barry Trammell from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, Dylan, how close are you guys, do you feel like, to being the kind of offense Oklahoma State's traditionally had and known for? How close are you guys to that level, do you think, right now?
Yeah, I think we're close. I mean, we've made progress each and every week, and I think we're getting closer to being there every week. We don't depend on just one aspect of our offense. We got, like Spencer said, we have weapons all across the board. So we're still learning, we're still growing, and we'll continue to get better each week.
Illingworth did a nice job, filling in for Spencer, but did it feel like with Spencer back out there that, hey, things are all of a sudden a little bit back to normal and we're going to hit our groove?
Yeah, Shane did a great job, and you can't say enough about that. I mean, being put in the position that he was in as a true freshman is tough, and I definitely think that he handled that well. But Spencer was the guy last year, was the guy all spring and summer. So just I definitely a little bit more comfortable back there and getting back to more normal style offense. But like I said, Shane did a fantastic job and he'll be a really good player in years to come.
Our next question comes from Jenny Carlson from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jenny.
All right, Dylan, I have to know what happened. What's with the eye?
I actually got my helmet ripped off after the first punt return, and so that's
right. Is that the scratch too?
Yep, all on one play. So it felt great at the time.
Could play into a Halloween costume or something.
I need to dress up as Rocky or something.
There you go. Hey, Coach Gundy referenced that this 3-game stretch that you've played one of is really going to be defining, that you guys will know a lot more about your team, your prospects, your promise after 3 games. But I mean, Iowa State's such a good test. Do you feel like you learned anything about this team after a third of that 3-game stretch?
Yeah, there's always going to be some type of chaos or commotion that we're going to learn from. And obviously we had that against Iowa State. Certain things, certain calls didn't go our way, but that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it matters how we respond to that. And I think we responded really well. I think we'll continue to grow as a team and as an offense. And, this is going to be a tough stretch, but, I think we're ready for it, and I'm excited to play these next 3 games.
You guys, historically as a program, I mean, games that are pretty high scoring and lots of times, multi-touchdown differences in, margin of victory. It really hasn't been how you guys have operated this year. Close games, is that something you guys have gotten comfortable with? Is that, has it taken time or do you guys feel like, when you're playing tough opponents, that's probably going to be more the norm. Do you feel like you're in a mental place to really handle close games well?
Yeah, I think so. We've been through a lot this year. Since the summer with the virus, there's been nothing but adversity. So, I think, I don't know if comfortable is the word. We're more familiar being in those situations. But our offense is executing. We had good chunk of yards. We didn't have necessarily the points to show for it, but we're learning and we're progressing. And like I said before, I think we'll continue to get better each week, and hopefully we can start to put up more of those points.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Heather Dinich from ESPN.com. Go ahead, Heather.
Yeah, you mentioned the summer and adversity, and Coach Gundy talked to me a little bit about how he felt like that helped the team chemistry, and whatever 2 weeks, I guess that was, that you guys went through this summer brought everybody closer together. And I wanted to get your perspective as to how you thought the offseason helped the team chemistry and how unique that is in terms of helping how you guys are playing right now and contributing to your success.
Yeah, I think it's a big testament to this team and a lot of these guys. Being sent home for the first part of summer and missing Coach Glass's specific workouts is tough. Guys are completely on their own, and it's up to them. And to come back here and really not skip a beat says a lot. We put ourselves in a good position for the season in the summer, and even with having the game postponed and everything, guys have stayed the course and really seen the big picture. So it's really with everyone in the locker room. It's not just a specific group or a specific guy that's holding other people accountable. I think everyone has that, sees the big picture and has the main goal of winning and ultimately Big 12 championship. So like I said, it's a testament to all the guys.
And if you guys continue to keep that focus and that togetherness, what do you feel What do you feel your ceiling is as a team this year?
Yeah, obviously the goal is the Big 12 championship, but the only way to get there is just take one game at a time. So, just obviously Iowa State was a great win. They're a great football team, but it's on to the next one, and we got to keep that same mentality if we want to accomplish the goals that we have for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Garen Emig from the Tulsa World. Go ahead, Garen.
Dylan, you doing okay?
I am. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much. Are you, 1 week from tonight is election night all of a sudden. Are you voting for the first time this year?
I think so. It's a wild time, and this is crazy. You really can't put into words what kind of situation this country and this world is in right now.
How, given the fact that you guys address some of that crazy stuff in the off season, just across a wide range of topics, how important do you think, not just you, but your teammates and just college athletes in general, how important is it to lend your voice that way, to vote and try to affect some change that way?
I think it's huge. I mean, that's a change that everyone can make. I mean, it's not something that, some guys vocally make their change and start nonprofits and are very vocal about it, which is awesome and which is great. And other guys who aren't as vocal, I mean, this is the opportunity. Everyone can go vote. I mean, it's not something that just specific people and guys with a lot of power or influence can do. It's everyone. So I would strongly encourage everyone to go vote and go vote for what you believe in, and hopefully be the change that you want to see.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Extend to our last couple questions. Our next question is going to come from Scott Wright from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Dylan, I wanted to ask about Tylen. Was there a moment or a play, whether it was in practice or a game, when you could really tell for the first time that he was back and he was back to himself?
It's tough because, I mean, it's just, you kind of watch the whole thing progress, since him having surgery to him starting to run again and cut again and whatnot. When he was cleared and came back, I think that was really the time everyone was real nervous and whatnot. And I said it a while ago, he looked like the exact same guy, but with a brace on. And he's continued to make big play after big play. And, watching him come back from that and not miss a beat has been really fun to watch.
Changing tracks real quick. Does the game against Texas mean anything additional to you? And if not, whether it does or not, do you sense that guys from Texas care a little bit more about this game?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, UT's obviously a very prestigious program. It's been good for a long time, and it's a big game. Every game's a big game at this point. But just with the Big 12 and how things are going to shake out, you never know. And we know Texas is a good football team. There's no question about that. So we know we're going to have to be ready to play.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.
And our final question is going to come from Jared Alatorre from the Ocali. Go ahead, Jared.
Dylan, good to see you. Whenever you bring up, or whenever people here bring up Texas, they also bring up Mike Yursich. What was the relationship like during his tenure here with you and the rest of the team?
Yeah, he was the guy when I first got here. He was a good dude and fun to be around, and really kind of taught a lot of us older guys now the ins and outs of this offense. So, it's going to be fun to go against him in Texas, and hopefully, obviously we come out on top.
Also, arguably the three biggest games of the year are coming up here for you guys. How do you feel going into these games?
Yeah, it's obviously just take one game at a time right now, but there's no question the next three games are going to be really tough and going to define the rest of the season. So, we're just going to worry about Texas right now and get ready for them and play them to the best of our ability. But, in the back of our mind, we know who's waiting after this.
Dylan, thank you.
Thank you.
Dylan, we're thankful for you, buddy.
Thank you guys. You guys take care. Be safe.
Appreciate you. Take care. Have a good night.
You too.
Members of the media, thank you as well. We appreciate you as always.
Okay.